guys, welcome back to Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel. I'm Kelsey, this is my wife Rachel. We're here to talk some boxing.
Why are you changing your voice?
This is how I talk now. Very serious about the sport.
You're like
about the sweet
Star-Lord
science.
and Thor.
Are you copying me? Stop copying me.
Does that make me Thor?
I don't know, does it, Rachel?
All right, back to boxing.
Hey guys, for real though, seriously, boxing. What are we talking about today?
I don't know.
We totally planned this. Let me get out our notes, Rachel. I'm going to keep it below the camera so that you can't see them. Yeah. You know, I was looking at those pay-per-view numbers today for Tyson Fury versus Deontay
That's right.
Wilder.
I knew you were talking to me about something earlier. Kelsey had all kinds of opinions about these pay-per-view numbers.
Yeah, I was really interested to see what the pay-per-view number would be. And according to Mike Coppinger and various other astute, tapped-in boxing journalists out there that get all these numbers, it's no better than around 850, not exactly 50, 850,000 pay-per-views. It might be between that and 7,000. Am I saying the numbers right?
Usually people say the lower number first.
Yeah.
It's around 800,000 pay-per-view guys.
So that's good enough.
And you remember in an earlier video, so before this fight, you had talked about, like, you wondered.
Okay,
you had thought, like, I think that they think they're going to do really great numbers.
They did, yeah.
But I don't think they are.
My impression, and I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but nobody else is patting me on the back. Go ahead and pat me on the back. Okay. What I observed heading into fight night was that me and Rachel were really excited, but I didn't visibly see anything outside in my world, in my real world, that told me that this pay-per-view was going to do anything close to over 1 million buys for it. And I think for me, the bottom that you would expect and hope for with the combined might of two undefeated heavyweight champions, as well as Fox Sports and ESPN, is over 1 million pay-per-view buys, if not more. And I base that on the second Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin fight. That was one of, if not the, HBO's last big pay-per-view bonanza. And so what I'm getting at is, it's one thing to have all these amazing outlets and the might of these big media engines. It's quite another thing to know how to use them. And I don't think that the people that have these new toys know how to use them yet, because I feel like this fight, this heavyweight title fight, had the potential to be a lot bigger than it turned out to be. And I think minimally you would have hoped to meet or exceed Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin 2, which happened under HBO's watch.
Yeah, and I do wonder, because this was two undefeated heavyweights, one of them being an American, both of them having really, like, big personalities.
Powerful stories. Wilder had like viral knockouts over the last year.
Yeah. Not to mention, if you wanted to, like, cut deep, right, and go back to Tyson Fury being the guy who punched himself, like, ESPN, like, that's like new ground.
Yeah,
for them.
how come I didn't see that? That's a good point. Why didn't we see that in the lead up to this?
Right, like, there's just,
I don't know,
all kinds of stuff that people could dig into, and I feel like the marketing for this heavyweight fight that I did see outside of my boxing world, so like when I'm watching football or I'm watching whatever, it was just kind of, I don't know why that keeps going on.
It's almost as if the people that were behind this thing were used to promoting things like NFL and college football. Yeah, they're completely different, guys. Like, the football, you don't have to promote. Football is already a huge, big thing in the United States with a bazillion more fans than combat sports has. So I do think it takes some new ideas, some nuances, and some smart forward thinking that I don't think happened in this fight. There's a tendency in boxing whenever something like this happens to explain away, like, oh, well, it's because, 50 million people stole it on streaming networks. Even though, I mean, you could argue that we're not that far removed from Canelo Alvarez versus
illegal streams have been around.
They've been around for a while. Secondly, I feel like boxing does this often, explains away things as like, well, it's okay.
Instead of be open to, like, figuring out a solution, figuring out how to get better.
Conor McGregor could fight a potato, and he would have sold more than 800,000 pay-per-view buys, in my opinion. And I think that, I don't know what the answer is, But I know some of the problems with the boxing pay-per-views are they're way too expensive. They're more expensive than UFC pay-per-views. You don't get near as much interesting fights. You buy a UFC pay-per-view, you get at least 3 of the 5 fights on the main card, and all of the 5 cards are worth watching. And in boxing, you get the one fight in the main event that you don't even know how long it's going to last, and you get 3 trash fights. They might have real fighters that you're interested in, but they're not fighting anybody that they shouldn't beat. And so there's all these little things that can make boxing better. I want boxing to be the best, to get better. I want those guys to make a lot more money. I want it to make sense for Fox Sports and ESPN to even keep combat sports alive, to keep boxing, I should say, on their programming. But that's going to take some smarter people than are in the room right now. That's my opinion. I mean, I like what DAZN is doing, and DAZN gets a bad rap on social media because of all the new things that they try. But let me say this: at least they're trying new and innovative things, and I like that. I've done that with my own work as a writer. It don't always work out.
Yeah,
Believe me, it does not always work out.
Sometimes you fail.
But that's part of getting better.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, we're celebrating a heavyweight champion that is the only heavyweight champion in history, like you mentioned, that I can remember, whoever punched himself in the face. But Tyson Fury, and I remember thinking back to Tyson Fury, I never thought Tyson Fury would become as good as he's become. But Tyson Fury became that good, and I think because he kept trying to get better instead of just like explaining away the old, blaming other things.
I mean, lots of people would have punched themselves in the face and been like too embarrassed to like be better, to come back and keep trying. You know what I mean? They would have let that like totally like destroy them.
Boxing, you can do better, and I think you at home. Are you at home? No, you might be in a car. Anyway, you can do better now too by liking, commenting, and subscribing to Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel. You know, a lot of times we just have fun here, but sometimes we have grumpy opinions.